We are officially marking 1 week since North Carolina's stay-at-home order went into effect, and still there are complaints coming in that people just aren't taking this seriously.
People still gathering in parks and on greenways. And take a look at this video. You can see people here playing volleyball right in the middle of Romare Bearden Park. Again, any sport where you're all touching the ball and being that close, a major no-no. Channel 9's Mark Becker is live tonight, and right now the city is talking now, Mark, about how to add teeth to these rules so people listen.
Yeah, Scott, they're going to be having that discussion in a couple of hours or so, but up until about an hour ago, the weather was spectacular here. A lot of people out in Romare Bearden Park, but not like yesterday, when, as you say, there was a volleyball game here, and somebody shot some pretty telling video of it. It's barely 5 seconds of video, but more than enough for the county's health director to say that volleyball game violated the stay-at-home order and the direction not to play sports that share equipment. And from where he sat on a bench today by himself, Chuck Howard had to agree.
Unfortunately, it's a lot of the mentality of today's society. It's me first, I don't care, it's not going to happen to me, give us all a trophy.
On another spectacular sun-splashed afternoon, there were plenty of people out here for exercise or otherwise. No volleyball games, and most were keeping their proper social spacing. Prince Dawid was tossing a football to a friend, and he saw yesterday's volleyball game quite differently.
I think it's pretty cool. I think everybody, they begin to be very collaborative. And
he says the fear of the virus is, in his words, a little overhyped. And so is the county's response.
Here we're throwing the football. I think anytime you get done, playing any extracurricular activity, sports or anything, common sense, wash your hands, sanitize your hands, and call it a day.
Of course, county officials and I suspect city officials would disagree with that strongly. City Council going to be talking about it, perhaps stepped up enforcement in a couple of hours at their council meeting. Scott?
Yeah, a short time ago, North Carolina officials, Mark, said that enforcement of these policies is up to each city or town. And we know what the rules are in Charlotte, but how is this going to be enforced? Were police called out there yesterday, or were they even involved in this?
I asked that question and really never did get a complete answer. I was told that as far as we know, no one really called police, certainly, and they were not out here. And so I don't know why that volleyball game finally ended, but nobody cited and no violations out here yesterday.
All right, our Mark Becker, as we continue to follow this story. Thanks very much, Mark. Another controversial aspect to the order, protests like this one. Actually, police did arrest 8 people who you see here who were protesting outside of a Charlotte women's clinic. Coming up at 5:30, the national spotlight now raising questions about those arrests.
And breaking in just the past 35 minutes, South Carolina's Governor Henry McMaster says that too many people in South Carolina were out on the roads and along the waters and ignoring his earlier recommendations. So now he is making it mandatory, the home or work order. Now that means that everyone has to stay home unless they are working or going to someplace like the grocery store or the pharmacy. He says at stores, no more than 5 customers can be inside per 1,000 square feet. Now this takes effect tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Another big story outside today. For the first time in a while, the threat of storms. Meteorologist John Ahrens is tracking what's out there right now and when some people could see those showers. John?
Yeah, Scott, those thunderstorms have just moved through uptown. It's now going to be quieting down on the north side. So from North Lake up into Burkdale, it should be much quieter. To the south side, though, is where we have that real heavy activity. As you go over through Matthews and Mid-Hill, some very heavy rain, a couple lightning strikes. We'll track that on Live Early Morning Doppler 9, just how hard the rain is coming down. I've seen it as heavy as about maybe 1 to 2 inches an hour. And it's not out of the question that you might even get some embedded hailstones. At least it would be very small hailstones. But that's what our data is starting to indicate. Let's put a track on this guy as it pushes to the south and to the east. The city of Monroe, it's already in Stallings. We're going to look for Monroe, eventually Marshville, Unionville, and up and through Henby Bridge to start to see some of that stormy weather as that pushes south of Charlotte. For the Queen City itself, I think things will be drying down, but the weather maker responsible for all this is not going to go away necessarily. And it's probably going to be here for tomorrow also. How long it's going to stick around this week, coming up.
All right, John, thank you. Another big concern now happening here locally, a concern about people inside nursing homes.
Yes, a lot of people living together in nursing homes, many of them already in high-risk categories. We've been tracking the outbreaks across our area, and 3 people have tested positive at Pavilion Health Center at Brightmoor in Ballantyne. And a Hendersonville nursing home has 23 confirmed cases now. Channel 9's Dave Fairdy is in Burke County, where a dozen cases are now tied to one nursing home there.
And we found out earlier it's not just residents who have tested positive here, but also more than a half dozen workers, and those numbers have continued to climb since last week. We could see workers at Grace Heights Health and Rehabilitation wearing face masks as they left the building this morning. It is here a half dozen residents, along with 8 employees, have tested positive for COVID-19. We spoke by phone with the daughter of one of the residents who says she was never notified about the outbreak.
No, nothing. If I would not have found out on social media and started calling myself, I would have zero information. I don't feel my mom is safe at all.
The health department says all of the residents at Grace Heights will be tested, along with employees who had close contact with infected patients. In a statement released this weekend, Grace Heights said, "For weeks, we have restricted visitors from entering our facility, canceled all group activities and dining, screened staff, residents, healthcare providers, and local emergency management." The nursing home says temperatures and respiratory assessments are also being done on a daily basis. For now, family members can only see loved ones through windows to their rooms. They hope the outbreak is contained soon.
My concern is more that the staff is the ones who have the virus mainly. So how many of those staff members have worked with my mother? And I can't get very many answers from the nursing home at all.
And Grace Heights says that it's in close contact with the Burke County Health Department, along with federal and state health officials, to ensure that all measures are in place to keep both residents and workers here safe. Back to you.
Thank you, Dave. We want to give you some more numbers to help explain why nursing homes are such a concern. Right now, North Carolina is actively monitoring 8 ongoing outbreaks at nursing homes and at 3 residential treatment facilities. This is a chart that tracks infections by age group, and you see that only 21% of cases are in those aged 65 and older, but they account for 82% of the deaths in our state. You can see there are no deaths in the younger age group. Tonight, some riders and drivers with cats say they are now worried about their safety after a worker with the bus division tested positive.
Channel 9's Deshawn Brown first told you about that positive case yesterday. Today, she's been pushing cats for some more answers on what they're doing to make sure everyone else is safe.
Scott, we've been hearing from both drivers and passengers, and they share a lot of the same concerns. They're worried if what is being done to protect them is enough. One picture offers a snapshot into recent concerns we've received from CAT's drivers and passengers, namely buses that are still crowded, leaving little to no room for physical distancing.
After the 4th stop, the bus just started getting crowded and crowded and crowded and crowded. And that's when I took a picture and I sent it to my sister, who's a healthcare worker in New York, and she's like, "I'm glad you got your mask on, you know."
Just yesterday, we learned a CATS employee within the bus division tested positive for COVID-19, though CATS confirmed that person is not a driver. CATS adding it will continue extensive cleaning measures in its vehicles and facilities.
That's not enough, but you got the people that's still on there, you know, that many people on there at one time. Yeah, that's not enough, no.
Channel 9 has also received several concerns from drivers themselves. In this statement, one said they were running out of protective equipment like sanitizer and gloves. CATS told me it's also been struggling to find masks for drivers. One driver said schedules have changed to work 1 week on and 1 week off, then shared text messages from CATS dispatch looking for people to work on their days off. CATS says it's doing their best to serve essential workers who use the service to get to work. Charles Upshur is one of them.
Hey, got to pay the bills.
And right now, CATS says they have no intention of stopping service here because there are just too many people who rely on them for access to food and other critical services. As for that photo showing the crowded bus, they said that is not acceptable, and they're working with their bus operations division to add more buses to those routes where they serve more people. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Deshaun Brown live tonight. Thank you, Deshaun. CATS is getting a boost in funding to help pay for its response to the virus. The new stimulus package gives $25 billion to our public transportation systems. We broke that down, and $63 million will come to Charlotte, $6.5 million in Gastonia, and $3.8 million to Rock Hill. That money allows public transit systems like CATS to pay for their response, from sanitizing buses to lost wages for workers and more.
Amazon is confirming that an employee at its sorting center in Concord has tested positive. Now, the company would not confirm anything else about that worker other than they are supporting that individual. They've told all the other workers at the center about this positive case, saying that employees that are diagnosed will receive up to 2 weeks of pay, also increasing how often they are cleaning the building there. In a statement to Channel 9, a spokesperson said, quote, "We are supporting the individual who is recovering. We're following guidelines from health officials and medical experts, and we're taking extreme measures to ensure the safety of employees at our site."
So we, of course, talking a lot every day about the case numbers and the number of deaths. We want to give you the most up-to-date information for where you live, but also we always try to give context here so you can kind of make your own decisions about this. So first, here are the confirmed cases in North Carolina. 2,870 with 33 deaths, including 7 now in Mecklenburg County. We put all the cases in our community on this map, including 741 again for Mecklenburg. So when you break the numbers down, North Carolina had 40,000 tests done. Only about 7% of those came back positive, and of those, at this point, 33 deaths. So that is about 1% of the positive test patients that turned out to be fatal. Let's take a look at South Carolina. The death rate is slightly higher, the number there at 48. The state has about 2,200 cases for more than 5 million residents in South Carolina. 2 of the new cases in South Carolina are right inside the Rock Hill Police Department. 2 city employees at the department there have tested positive. The department says it's identified others who may have been exposed, and those with close contact will be quarantined for 14 days. The patients themselves, they say, are doing well and will stay at home until they're symptom-free.
Stocks started the week with a major surge, closing up 7% after some of the hardest hit areas showed signs of the virus slowing down. The Dow closing up more than 1,600 points. NASDAQ also up more than 500 points. It was the stock market's best day since March the 24th, but experts are saying don't expect those gains to stick around for good, given all the uncertainty surrounding the pandemic. Britain's prime minister is now in intensive care because his symptoms are worsening. Boris Johnson hospitalized over the weekend, announcing 11 days ago that he had tested positive. His office is saying that he is conscious and is not currently on a ventilator.